What's happening, my people? Welcome to Vertical Football Podcast and welcome to Fans Corner, Manchester United edition. I'm not doing it alone. I'm doing it with one of the best analysts in Nigeria right now, the amazing, the philosophical Shegun. Shegun, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, but I'm not one of the best analysts. But I'm fine, and it's good to be back in the studio.
Yeah, we need to sing your praise a little bit. We are seeing one or two things they are doing, and it's awesome. All your analysts, all your points have been on point. Your point, if there's something like that, your points have been on point. Everything you said about Manchester United has come to pass. It's like you are the Messiah of Manchester now.
I'm not the Messiah. I'm not the Messiah. But it's always nice to be here when Man United is winning. It's good to be here, really.
And guys, I'm wearing Manchester United jersey, our best ever jersey for now. And you know, anytime I come with this jersey, you know that it is never boring. Go and check it out. It's never boring.
Yeah, we always win.
Yes, we always win.
Yeah, we always win. That's
so
nice.
now, I want us to just talk about a few things. But the first thing I want to talk about is the Manchester United new stadium.
Yeah.
Now, Shegun, what's your thoughts on this new stadium?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's good news. That for once we can talk about projects that move into the future.
Yeah, that's true.
I think in the past month, we've always been talking about the past glory and the current tragedy.
Yeah.
But it's always so good that we have something to look forward to in the future. Looking at it, it's going to be 100,000 capacity.
Yeah,
right?
100,000.
And looking at the architectural design and looking at the people that the Foster and the guys that are in charge of the training ground are also the ones that are be giving the project to.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's nice. And I think that news give a lot of momentum to the team because
you can see a little bit of change.
Yeah, even in our personal lives, wherever you walk, you always want that hint of a good future.
Yeah.
And so when that news came on board, even at fans, even though I knew at some point just kind of like PR because there were protests going around that time.
Exactly.
But I just felt it brought a lot of good vibes.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at is how can that good vibe last. But in terms of the project, I think Old Trafford as it is now, despite being a very historical ground, it's in shambles, both based on the pitch and off the pitch. So it's always a good time to have a new ground.
Well, I think new ground is necessary because as an African man, we believe that some things are spiritual. Maybe
new ground will bring
fresh and better spirit, maybe better energy, or some people call it vibes. So I think that. But one thing about this new ownership is that you said you have no money, you are cutting down feeding fee, cutting down so many things, downsizing staffs and all things out of the blue. 2.something billion, let's say 2 billion. Projects. Where will they get the money?
I don't think they don't have money. I think it's just basic business. I think if you look at the likes of the operations of Elon Musk at X, which was formerly Twitter, I think people just believe that, and a lot of organizations, big organizations, are facing that what they call it, that problem.
Yeah.
In the sense of when an organization like Faith Africa Studios now, when you are still at your beginning stage, you tend to everybody that is present is doing something like purposeful, doing something that you can actually check and see this is what you're doing, and this is the result, right? From those of us that are on set and even people at the back end. But I think a moment comes where if the organization becomes to get bigger, one of the pitfalls is that you begin to see people that get paid for doing
absolutely nothing.
You can see certain departments where there can be 10 people that can do the job effectively, and that department is bloated to like 30 people. So, and I think when you look at the news coming up from Manchester United, I think that's the case. The case, and I believe it's just a matter of cutting down the workforce.
That's true.
I'm cutting down the workforce, and one thing that happens is that when you begin to cut down the workforce in any organization, good people will also be part of. Because it's one thing to be good, it's another thing to actually be productive in what you're doing. So I think it's sad even to see the likes of feeding money for staffs being cut off. I don't think that's necessary. £2 million per year.
Let me tell you something.
I know it's something, but
you can use it to get another player like Evan.
But the reality is, I think you can make other cuts in other areas, not necessarily feeding. I think it should be a good place that people can be able to eat. But I know they are being paid well. But I think it's also a bonus if they can feed. in the launch this. So I think I'm not happy about some of the cuts. I'm not happy about, but I understand that sometimes in some areas, the organization is bloated. Too many people in too many positions.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Man United needs to come to a club where we are operated and we are being run both on the pitch and off the pitch very, very well.
That's true. And also, I want us to talk about the stadium in the light of the design. Awesome design, the umbrella-like.
I don't particularly like the design.
It's not bad.
It's not bad,
but the umbrella-like is something that they can use it to harvest rain and also energy.
Yeah.
And that can be useful for other things.
I think the reality is, let us see, because I know that I pray, but by the time that the stadium officially gets open, we'll be present there in one form or the other, physically, to do a tour. So our fans, you guys, it's in your hands to just promote us. Let us do a tour when the Old Trafford Stadium goes, so that will be live in the UK, Manchester, to do a tour of that stadium. And our fans, guys can make it happen.
That's doable.
So that from there we can be able to talk more on this stadium, when it has come to flesh.
Now, and they said it will. I'm hearing that it is very, very close to Old Trafford and very close to, and you'll be seeing it from the outskirts of Liverpool. Now, my question is, what will now happen to Old Trafford? Is it that Manchester United want to use the two stadium, or they are going to just scrap Old Trafford for something else? Or I don't know, because we need to understand it's still Manchester United facility.
Yeah, I think the reality is there are speculations about what they do with the physical ground. But I think from a business perspective and from a brand perspective, I think they have to keep the name Old Trafford. Old Trafford is not just, it's not a brand. This is a name that almost everybody in the world knows. Old Trafford. It's not like Stamford Bridge,
Yes,
not like Stamford Bridge. Yeah. I think it's a name you have to keep.
No, because I understand that before we even talk about the name really, because we need to understand that the building, let's talk about building first. I know we are going to get there later, but what about the building? Are they going to, I know there should be a plan for the building, because I'm hearing speculation.
Yeah, speculation.
Rumor, that they are going to convert that place for the female team.
Yeah, I had that also.
But is it economically right to maintain two stadiums at the same time?
I think the female stadium, they need, they are using one currently, but it's a small sized place. So I believe it's just that they have to renovate
Old Trafford. Why can't they use the new stadium?
The matches will clash. So I think the time they mostly play their big matches, that's the female team in Old Trafford, is when maybe Man United is having a game, the female team are having a game away, and it coincides with a big match. So just since away. So I believe it will be nice, but also you have to look at the economics of it, because I know if they're going to renovate that stadium to standard,
you have to spend another 1 billion.
1 billion, close to 1 billion. And the reality is it going to be profitable? When you invest 1 billion in the female side of things?
No, with all due respect to our female.
No, it's not about results. I think it's with all due respect to them, but it's about revenue. But let's watch. By the time they're living there, maybe the female football would have grown so well.
Yeah, that's 5 years to come.
That's 5 years to come, and become more economical, more profitable, and so they can decide to make that investment of. But I know if it was, for example, it was like the Qatar that bought the club, and then they can spend that 1 billion in.
They can even spend everything. But Shego, now let's go to the name now. Should we hold on to Old Trafford?
Yeah, I think you have to hold on to Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams. Those are things that they are things that should not be. What do you want to call?
It's not negotiate.
What do you want to call the new stadium? New Trafford? Or what do you want to call it? Or you want to call it the Snapdragon? The reality is it loses its value. This is Manchester United, and with the name Manchester United being a global brand, Old Trafford comes with it. With Old Trafford comes the theatre of dreams. These three names are synonymous. If I go to even a village in any part of the world, there are villages everywhere. Any part of the world, maybe I go to Asia, I go to Africa, I'm in Africa, I go to one village in Africa, and I mention the theatre of dreams. Most people will know that it's Manchester United I'm talking about. When I mention Old Trafford, we know it's Manchester United. When I mention Manchester United, everybody knows the club. So keep that name. Keep those names. We need those names.
But really, what about Arsenal? Arsenal left hybrid
and with history like that.
They have history too.
They have history.
But look at it. They left hybrid and now they're in Emirates Stadium. Now everybody knows Emirates Stadium.
The reality is Arsenal is easier for Arsenal. Look, it's easier for Arsenal, really. It's easier for Arsenal. I think it's easier. I know whatever new name Man United bring on board, will fly with time.
Yeah.
Will fly with time. That's just the reality. People will come up to it. But just that we want to also have a feel, even though we're not in that physical ground, we want to have a feel of the memories. The theater of dreams is something that is special. Welcome to the theater of dreams. This is where we created the likes of Cristiano, Rooney, Van Nistelrooy. This is where legends were made.
But my own opinion is that we can create new memory. The fans are the memory. We the fans are the memory.
We the fans are the memory. But reality is,
the trophy can easily be taken to the new stadium.
I know that.
The cabinet and everything.
Maybe it's just me and my bias, but I just feel I like the name Theater of Dreams. It's something that I like a part. For example, Arsenal is what? Emirates Stadium. What is Emirates Stadium? What exactly is behind Emirates Stadium? Nobody knows.
So, okay, now, let me give you a list of names. I have Snapdragon Old Trafford Stadium.
Snapdragon. Does Snapdragon want to buy a part of Man United?
No, it's just naming right.
Naming right. I don't like it. The Snapdragon. I don't like it.
Naming right we give Manchester United.
With due respect to Snapdragon, if you want to sponsor us, we're happy and we're open. But okay. I don't like Snapdragon. You're okay on the jersey.
Okay, no, I'm saying that I don't care. The naming right should be there. Now, the naming right will give us at least 60 million. When Manchester United want to do their naming right, I'm looking at.
It's going to be a very crazy amount of money.
Yes, maybe 2 billion, maybe 1 billion pounds.
Maybe a crazy amount of
£1 billion pounds for that naming right.
Because this is.
I'm thinking, if the big guns, the top companies in the world, want to have their name on the new stadium, why don't we bring more money to us and more players to get for us?
I don't lie. I'm thinking, I don't want to think about the monetary aspect of things because I believe Man United
now we don't. Manchester United, we are at the low. We don't want to ever be broke.
In reality, Man United will never ever be broke. That name alone is worth billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah,
billions and billions of pounds. The reality is, if Man United is even on the low, when you present people that this is Manchester United, so people will come out to buy.
Okay,
and the Manchester United will never ever die.
Yeah.
Never. That name has, maybe in the other generation too, but for far we are still here, I don't believe that name will die because that name is a name that you can hate, you can adore, but they are never ignored. You can't ignore.
Exactly.
So I believe Manchester United is a good pre-progress. We can just come up with buy a stand.
No, the stand is
you can sell a stand.
They can stand and all this. We don't care. But what I want is that I just want something new. We Manchester United fans, we like new things.
I think the new things is the new stadium is okay. Let's have new players. Let's have new memories in terms of winning trophies. That will be okay. The name and everything, let's keep it there. I just like the feeling of, and one good idea I can think also is that let's turn the Old Trafford, that place, to a museum. Let's make it a mighty museum. Let's get more things involved there. I know.
But the new stadium have so many things coming in: sports complex, leisure, hotel.
I understand that in the museum, but the reality is that let's just, if it's possible. I know I'm not the best in terms of strategy and everything. There are people that are being paid good money to do that.
Yeah.
But let's do something that people can visit that ground.
I think the new stadium can do that. Really.
The
new stadium can do that.
Okay. But whatever way is left to them to decide.
The new stadium can do that. But Chago, finally on this stadium.
Yeah.
Do you think the owners have the fans in heart for this new stadium? Now, these owners are known for increasing ticket price, hiking it up. Now, do you think they have the mind of the fans? Because when you get to the new stadium, maybe the first season, there may be another increment in ticket price.
That's possible because definitely the number of years and the financial things they need, the financial resources they need to get that new stadium. So there's possibility that because this is business, even though I usually say this is an emotional business. But the reality is, I hope they have the fans at heart. Because
it's not looking like that now.
You can't really say.
I said until Glazers leave that club.
Yeah, before we can actually know.
Cannot be better.
Yeah, I think until the Glazers leave Manchester United, before we can actually know the nature of INEOS in terms of how they do business. Because everything now is, you can't really blame them because you can't really blame them for financial decisions because we know that there is the tax master,
tax master,
Glazers.
people that never invested.
They never invested, but they are the, let me not call them names, but everybody knows what's going on. So, but definitely, it's how many years time? I think
5 years.
5 years time. So the reality is you cannot be paying the same price you are paying now.
No, we have club. Manchester United that for over 10 years we have been paying the same until now.
So that
but
is,
they should not
meet up. They should not.
No. What is global standard? The Old Trafford 100,000 capacity is something. The investment around the stadium is something. Do you know that a lot of my friends that went to Old Trafford will tell you things like meals are even expensive at the stadium ground than even outside.
I have a theory, and that theory is that the more your club is failing on the pitch, the more things will be expensive off the pitch. It's my own theory. Because I believe when you are highly successful, winning trophies year on year, you tend to not want to put burdens on your fans. You tend to like make things cheaper because you are winning, because sponsorship deals are coming on board. You know, you are making those, people are rushing to want to sponsor you. You are winning major trophies. You are having that publicity. Your valuation is high. You can do mighty things. It's no coincidence that Arsenal's ticket price is one of the highest in the league.
Yeah.
Because reality is on the pitch, there's only to show for it.
You have a lot to show. You are second right now. What is that?
Second. That's another this thing. But reality
you
is
have a lot to show.
The moment you begin to be successful on the pitch, I want to believe that off the pitch you'll be a little bit tough. I know sometimes ticket price can also be high, but for owners that love the club, ticket prices should at least remain the way it is, because there are other ways of making money.
Okay, finally on this Old Trafford thing, and someone, a Manchester United fan, asked me outside. I am not saying my opinion about this. He said, Jim Ratcliffe, INEOS, got 25% share for football angle. And he has invested more than the Glazers in time past now. He invested about 200 something.
Yeah.
Even though that we had that all that was debt. Even though that some player will collect them instrumentally.
Yeah, you have to pay. That's the way transfer works.
I did not know that we are paying instrumentally for players.
No, actually, there's no club that pays the 4 months.
Yeah. So, but he now said, what will be the gain of the Jim Ratcliffe INEOS if eventually the Glazers said they are selling their own share and they're not selling to him?
No, I think there should be an agreement. I think we should.
Is there anything? Because
we don't know the details of the contract.
That's the problem.
But I don't think people that have been in business for this long will be so daft not to include first refusal.
What happened to if this man died? Because he was saying it on
his organization now.
He was saying
an organization.
Glazers too. This guy's an organization too. Their father left, and now the children are just.
I think it's INEOS that bought the club, not.
Jim Ratcliffe is just the front.
Jim Ratcliffe is just the chairman.
He's the chairman of INEOS for Canada.
So I think it's an organization thing. So there should be a strategy of 10 years strategy about what to do with Manchester United. And the reality is, even when Jim Ratcliffe is not around, and the Glazers
that he stay long, I beg.
We wish him long life. But the reality is, he's a very smart businessman to be the richest man in UK.
That's awesome.
He knows business. And I believe it has to be bigger than him. Everything they are buying, everything they own has to be, succession has to be there.
Yeah.
So the reality is, succession has to be there. So that's not an issue. The organization should have plans to push forward.
Now, talking about succession now, let's now go to succession. Sorry, for players.
Yeah.
Now, in 5 years, do you think players are going to be, the player we are going to be getting will be better than most of the players we have now? And do you even think Amorim will be here?
I think the first target for Manchester United currently, the back
5 years is a long time.
Yeah, 5 years is a long time. I think currently what we should be looking at as our plan to tackle the next 5 years is that we need to be trend setters. We need to be pace setters.
Yeah.
In the sense of Manchester United before used to lead, others follow. We don't lead currently.
Exactly.
And I think in terms of, we need to lead in terms of the style of play.
Yeah.
Because reality is we can see that the Guardiola type of football is coming to an end.
It's already at the end.
We are seeing the deficiencies already. So what is the next style of play? And how can we be the ones to introduce it? But Guardiola enjoyed that when they brought it to Barcelona. There was a period of success under the likes of
even Barcelona are not playing that way
anymore. So the reality is there's a new trend of football, a new style of football coming up. What is our strategy to get to be the one to start that
trend? Yeah.
Can I only start that pattern? Let's understand what football is going into. I've always said it that football, the different patterns that we have had in modern time is just how to overload the midfield.
Exactly.
That's why I like the 3-4-3 system, because it kind of like overload the system. Before I know 4-3-3 overloaded the system with 3. When 4-4-2 was just 2 centrally. 4-3-3 overloaded. That's why when Barcelona started the 4-3-3 system,
it was difficult to crack.
Technical players were difficult to crack because most people use 4-4-2 against them. We had the era of 4-5-1, was also tried to overload with
4-5-1. Yeah.
Now I like the era of 3-4-3 because 3-4-3 allows you to use 4 in the center.
And you can also overload the front line.
With 2 in the front, that's like 6. So maybe the next formation will be maybe 3-5 or 3-6. 3-6-1 or something. 3-6-1 or something. So
maybe on transition.
So the reality is people are trying to, the evolution of football is all about overloading the midfield.
Having extra player
in the midfield, because the reality is there's a law in football that either controls the middle of the park most likely wins a football match.
Yeah.
So let us be ahead of that in terms of trend. Let us be leaders in terms of that. Let us be leaders in terms of medicine, sport medicine, in terms of scouting. Who are the next talent coming up in the next 5 years in world football? We have to be involved. We have to get them.
If they are
where are the Neymars? Where are the Mbappes? Where are the Messis? Where are the Ronaldos? Let's get them.
Let's get them first. Let's other team chase them.
Yeah.
And let us dictate the time they are going to leave.
Yes, let's get the best talent in.
Imagine during the days of Rooney, Babatov. Yeah, we know that we got him on a high, but during the days of Rooney and even Ronaldo, you see that when Ronaldo was leaving 2008, everybody felt that is the end. Yeah. All of a sudden, the player came on board. Not fantastic, not brilliant like that. Yeah. Valencia, out of the blue.
And was doing something.
And was doing amazing.
Good. Yeah, he did good.
It was direct and it was amazing. Yeah. That is what we want. There was a system that worked.
Let's have by the next 5 years, we should be among the top 2 teams with the best team in the world.
Yeah, in the world.